Hey, what's up, Gemini? Thank you so much for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. My name is Sarah, and we're doing your reading for the full moon in Aquarius. So, as per usual, we are going to start off with some oracle to set the tone, then move on to a tarot reading, and conclude with some affirmations. Now, the full moon in Aquarius, my interpretation of it is that it is time to allow your light to shine in its most authentic way. It's all about, going ahead and being yourself to the core. What else? I made a few notes here. Aquarian energy is also about being attuned to your emotions. But also and not detaching from them too much. It can also be letting go of your emotions. So processing them, naming them, and then letting them go. Mentally processing them. Sometimes Aquarians can be detached from their emotions because it's hard to name them. When you're like stuck in your head and analyzing everything. It's like that analysis paralysis, right? Virgo also has a tendency to take on that type of mindset. So it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it really can help you survive through hard times and not be too overly emotional. Sometimes, though, it can make you look too detached. So there's positives and negatives, and it's all just one big bundle of airy joy. Not always necessarily, but it is what it is. So Aquarian energy is also about sustainability. When you think about the water bearer and just giving everybody enough, dividing equally the resources. Aquarian energy is also about being of service, equal division and service. Sustainability and service. These things are super interlinked. So what ways are you providing service? Are you interested in doing that if you don't? We got two cards here. The end of a tough cycle approaches, Capricorn energy in the full moon, and you are good enough. There's that Virgo energy right there. All right, so know that you are enough, Gemini. Always, always, always. Okay, so tarot time, folks. It is so important to know that you're enough. So many people are just really plagued with negative self-talk. And you may not even realize that that's what's happening. Now, when it comes to you, Gemini, I would say that you probably are more aware than most, but it is entirely possible to be completely subjecting yourself to insecurity. It doesn't matter what sign you are. We all have the capacity to be narcissistic or, somebody's doormat on some level. It goes both ways. So which one are you? Are you the type of person that is super worried about what everybody thinks to a point that you'll lash out or destroy anybody that threatens your appearance? Or are you allowing people to walk all over you? Are you attracted to narcissists on some level? So what is it? It could even be both. You never know. There's some type of situation that you are going to have to walk away from. That's what is indicated by the 8 of Cups. This could be just a concern, though. This doesn't mean that you have to walk away from the situation, but you're wondering if you should walk away from a situation. It's not really a happy place, but it's definitely a necessary place to contemplate or act out. And we have the King of Pentacles. So there's somebody in your life that is really I mean, all of the court cards reversed, there's going to be some form of manipulation. And in this case, it is impacting your constitutional well-being. The King of Pentacles is an energy sucker. They will leave you feeling like you need to be grounded and energized at the same time. And it's like they've sucked your battery life dry for the purpose of their own life sustenance. So, and it could have to do with money. It could have to do with just taking from you. Some type of loss anyways. So what are you going to do about it? And if this is you, if you've experienced somebody who has walked away from you and you don't want them to leave, you need to think about what it is that they mean to you, what it is that they represent for you, and why is it so disturbing, the idea of them leaving. We have Judgment, so an awakening and understanding that you're in the right place at the right time at the base of the deck. Understanding that whatever's meant to be will be. That's what the World card is. And also this could just be a cycle that you're going through. So if you're resorting to catastrophic thinking in some type of way, just know that you don't need to act like the world is going to end or your world is done on account of some stupidness. But understand also at the same time that this King of Pentacles reversed needs to be held accountable. And whatever foundation that you've laid with this person, that you're not getting the turnaround that you deserve. You're not getting the turnaround that you had hoped for. This is not... It sounds like this situation is not what you signed up for. So you need to go back to the drawing board. What did you sign up for? Not grief, and not some person that requires a heavy amount of enticing. Or even are you requiring a heavy amount of enticing in order to get what it is that you need done? But you shouldn't have to pour so much energy into motivating somebody to do what it is that they agreed to. And if they didn't fully agree to it, then you need to accept that. So it's tricky. The reverse King of Pentacles will coerce you into agreeing to things, or will paint a portrait, or make you feel like something should be a certain way, but in actuality, you're being gaslit on some level. All the reverse kings are gaslighters. Let's be real. Even the queens. So anxiety. This makes absolute sense. Wow, what the last round you had a really poopy reading too. But I feel like this is necessary. We need to get this crap out. Why, Gemini? Why? Okay. So in the past, either you didn't need to move on to greener pastures in some type of way. There was no need to exit stage left. There was no need to organize and regroup. And there's no need to move. You had no reason to move before. We have the Ace of Cups. So, there's no reason to move. There's no reason to leave. You feel like you want to leave. You feel like this person is uncool. Why are you being triggered, first of all? We did have the World and Judgment on the... so that's what you need to come to a realization. Why are you being triggered? And, are you just... are you just chasing a honeymoon phase? Am I calling you out on your shit? Jeez. Taurus had some similarness happening with the reversed devil or death. Some justice comes through. So, okay. You are very just and balanced. Your attitude is balanced. So what is it that's like, why is your anxiety? Why are you allowing your anxiety? I shouldn't say allowing. People have debilitating anxiety. What, like, and it, you know, it takes time and effort and work. Like, what are you doing that is counterproductive to you dealing with your anxiety? There's so many things. There's so many things, right? Like, people have their cycles, they have their vices, all of these things. You know, if you're going to take a harm reductive approach to viewing them and dealing with them, all of these things can benefit you to a certain degree as coping mechanisms. But when you're caught up in a cycle of coping mechanisms, you're not actually growing. Or if you are, like, at best, it's very slow. And like, it's sometimes you're taking, you know, 5 steps forward and 10 steps back. And then 20 steps forward and 5 steps back, right? And if that's your process, if that's how you live your life and that works for you, great. But make sure that when you're in this moment of feeling despair and that, you know, seeing through the lens of despair and everything and resorting to catastrophic thinking, it really, it's a lot. Like, is that something that you enjoy walking with? It's up to you. It looks like, you know, other people see you as desperate. Desperate is not hot, okay? So if you want to look a particular way, desperate should not be that thing. Just saying. Let's be real. Despair is how you are perceived in a state of despair. So this is not necessarily about you being desperate, but you appear to be like in a state of despair. So now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're behaving like you're desperate, but you may be behaving in a way that is like, I'm like, first world problems comes to my mind. What else? And I hate negating people's issues. Like, everybody's issues are valid and they need to be processed and dealt with, right? You are potentially having a really hard time as well. And it's real. It's very, very real for you. Somebody is treating you poorly, and I don't know if you feel like nobody believes you, or that nobody is, you know, maybe you're afraid that people won't acknowledge you, so you keep your mouth shut. Or you hope that it will go unnoticed. I don't think it is. It looks like, okay, so there's possibilities when it comes to the 5 of Pentacles, okay? And in this spot, it is your environmental influences. It's also how you are viewed in your environment. So you could be surrounded by despair, by people who are in need. This could also be that you are not healthy and that you're not seeking the help that you need to get healthy. And that this Knight of Pentacles, this King of Knight of Pentacles, this King of Pentacles might actually only be a Knight of Pentacles and require a lot of work to motivate. And maybe that's something that you don't necessarily feel like you shoulda or coulda, woulda, didn't, but did sign up for. It also could be that you've asked for help and it's been denied. And it could be denied by this King of Pentacles. So, I don't know. We have the King of Swords and the 2. So I'm feeling like you really need to boss up on a mental level and balance out your emotions. You need to use your mind to balance your emotions. It's like mentally dialectical approaches and narrative therapy. Those are my suggestions. At least know what they are. That's all I would say. That's all I would ask. We have this 7 of Pentacles. So this is about focusing on work and getting what it is that you... Oh, no, just kidding. Okay, that's the 8. All right, so we're jumping to the 8. So don't focus on work yet. You need to allow... I mean, this is a form of focusing on work, but it's focusing on the time that your projects need to cultivate and not jumping ahead of the game. So you don't want to pick your fruit before it's ripe. And you also don't want to allow yourself to get too bored waiting for your fruit to ripen. So patience. It's going to take the time that it needs. Whether or not you're able to sit still through that process is entirely up to you. Don't get too distracted though, I would say, which can be difficult for some folks. Keep yourself busy if you can. And do what it is that you need to do. And, this could even be a good time to stop and smell the roses. Or, whiff the fruit as it ripens. Okay. That got a little weird. All right. The Chariot reverse popped up. We have the Sun. So, sleep on it. Allow yourself to focus on joy. Be more consistent. Maybe get up earlier. This is just about being in alignment with the Sun. And what the Sun brings. The Sun brings us consistency. It doesn't burn out yet for quite some time. It's like a powerful source of energy. So get up and out into the sun. Wear sunscreen. This could also be focusing on young people in your life, hanging out with them and having fun with them, and actually enjoying time spent with them. That's so important. And just doing fun stuff and consistently doing those things. But yeah, it really is about connecting to, the most powerful source of energy that we got going on in this Milky Way galaxy. Third rock from the sun, right? All right. So at the end of the day, let's shed some light on the fact that whatever's going on with you, the bad does not outweigh the good. So I said it earlier, first world problems, you appear to be in a state of despair, but how difficult is it really for you? Now, don't go comparing your problems to other people. At the same time, I really think that, it's like harsh words. You may find my words harsh. Like, a little bit stabby. If you have a solid understanding of justice and balance, it really is important to be able to put that, to look at yourself in the mirror, Gemini. And like, accept those aspects of yourself that can be considered as defects of character, right? Focus your energy on what it is that you have, on what it is that you are blessed to have not had to deal with. Just gratitude. Gratitude is so important. And, you have the strength of mind to be able to deal with that, especially in this Aquarian moon, full moon. Okay. Think about, back to sustainability. Also knowing that you're good enough. And this tough cycle that you've been going through with whoever, yourself and immediate loved ones, it is not fixed. It's going to come to an end. I feel like it is going to require a little bit of effort. You know, I feel like watching this reading is acknowledging it bare minimum, right? And that's good enough as well. But focusing on the light and gratitude, like, you don't have to be super spiritual and connected, or, you know, even like you can be an atheist and practice gratitude, and it will fill your soul up, whether you believe you have one or not. It will help you deal with your fear and insecurities. So are you going to take up that challenge of making a mark for yourself? Or are you just going to like throw the baby out with the bathwater? And I don't know, there's an emptiness that you deal with, it sounds like. Like, you may think something was a good idea, but it wasn't. And maybe you were being immature about something, or somebody's being really immature about something that just wasn't a good idea. So, yeah. So yeah, like, there's going to be a moment where you realize that you didn't listen to your intuition. You're not listening. You're not listening to somebody, and it's going to leave you worn and feeling like you're left behind. But at the same time, you are like still defending what it is that you stand for. So it's like a conundrum wrapped in a riddle. You're going to have to sit with your discomfort and process and change your frame of mind on some level. And here we go. Now we have some work coming in. Some skill development. So again, dialectical approach to processing what it is that you're dealing with, processing your anxiety, your tendencies towards catastrophic thinking, but also just allowing yourself to feel differently. This is also learning how to tolerate your feelings. Same thing with like the Hanged One and Temperance are very, they're very, I want to say similar, but it's like restraint and discomfort. Sometimes the restraint is your discomfort. And the Hanged One, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to restrain from anything, but you certainly have to feel things that make you feel very uncomfortable. Like being wrong about something, or I don't know. It's almost just like, it can be sitting with feeling like you're inadequate or not smart, or, you know, sitting with any of your insecurities and really just naming them and sitting with them, sitting in the discomfort of feeling them, so that you can learn how to tolerate them and be that much more stronger and not get triggered by things that people do or say, because that's not what grown-ups do. You know, with the exception of people that have experienced debilitating levels of trauma, huge loss, it's hard. It's an interesting thing to map out, that's for sure. And I don't want to say interesting because that's like really takes away from people's lived experiences. It is certainly remarkable. That's for sure. So let's move on to some oracles. Change is inevitable, friend. Change is inevitable. We're going to move on to some oracle, though, for you, Gemini. We're going to turn this frown upside down, okay? We're going to get through this. We're going to get through these feels. So you want to be a badass. Show your heart to everyone, all right? It takes a lot of courage to be authentic, which is the name of the game for this Aquarian moon. It takes a lot of courage to be authentic in this world. Showing your heart doesn't mean you're soft all the time or that you're a hot mess or a doormat. It means you're showing up fully as yourself. And you know what's weak as fuck? Living a fake ass life trying to please others and appear a certain way that isn't real. All right. Time for some tarot affirmations. Repeat after me if you wish. King of Swords. Genius. I said repeat after me, right? Yes. Repeat after me if you wish. Say it again. I am a master of creative thought. I use my intellect to develop rational laws for successful living. I use my mind to help guide my decisions. I organize and analyze relevant information before taking action. I share my thoughts with others. Exchanging ideas helps develop new strategies that strengthen my ability to meet challenges. I trust my judgment. Thoughtful analysis helps me act with confidence and determination. I value my developing mental abilities and increasing strength of my decision-making skills. There you have it, decisive one. All right. Thank you so much, Gemini, for giving me the opportunity to read for you and checking out this reading. Please hit that like and subscribe button as it really supports the growth of my channel. And we will catch you next time. Take care and bye for now.